Everyone's over here getting this thing.
Let me get him!
It's refreshment time, folks.
I'm just gonna go watch a movie.
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV?
No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. You don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me Shell. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles. Each for rent at just $2 the first night and only
Finish it.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
It's a laser disc.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and the weather channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello and happy Goonies Day. It's Goonies Day according to the Goonies Museum, and just wanted to give a shout out to that. Go to our Instagram, check out the Badass Goonies poster, doubloon, and skull key that I have posted. It's in a beautiful little shadow box. But as much as I love the Goonies, it pales in comparison to Ghostbusters Day, which is officially tomorrow. So it's Ghostbusters Day Eve, everybody. How are you feeling?
Ghostbusters Day. Well, today is the anniversary of the Hollywood premiere.
Yes, the big Hollywood premiere on June 7th, 1984. Ghostbusters.
Hollywood.
Ghostbusters premiered. And we're pretty fucking excited about it. So it was 2 years ago. Alec and myself were in Los Angeles, California on this day.
2 years ago. I didn't get to go.
And, well, you could have gone. You just chose not to.
I was in the middle of moving.
Making excuses.
Yeah.
So seeing all those badass photo memories on there just got me so hyped, you know, like all the afterlife stuff we're just learning about then, and like it hadn't filmed yet, and now we're like just dying waiting for this movie.
We were hoping so bad that there was going to be something for Afterlife other than just the mention that they were doing a new movie.
Yeah.
Which was only happened like once or twice. And there wasn't. And you know, that event had its problems and stuff. But
still a once in a lifetime thing, man.
It's still one of the best things I've ever done.
Money well spent.
Yes. Especially even looking back, staying at that hotel.
Staying in the Biltmore the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, we could have had a lot more fun after certain events, but staying at the hotel is priceless. If you're ever in LA, stay there at least one night. If I were to go back, I'd probably stay there one night and then stay somewhere else just for giggles.
And you don't even realize how much that place is used for shooting, too. It's ridiculous.
So many movies have been shot there, yeah. It's amazing.
Pretty impressive stuff. We posted a lot of different pictures. I got a picture with Paul Feig that weekend and a picture with Maurice LaMarche. And there's a picture of you and me with the Reitmans.
Yes. We got to meet Jason and Ivan. Originally, that was like a bonus thing for my, I had a class 5 pass or whatever, I think. And that, you know, they threw on a last-minute photo op with that, which is pretty cool that they added that in there, and it worked out very well that I just threw you in my photo with me since you...
And they didn't, they kind of, tried to stop me for a second, but I just walked past and was like, no, it's okay. And they, let me, so I was like, I'm probably not supposed to be here, but whatever. And then the cool thing about that is, so you only got the printed photo for that, but then they offer duplicates, so I just went and bought a duplicate for, $10 or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, we've both got one. It's one of my favorite photos I've got hanging on the wall. It's like a family photo.
I got it framed over there on a shelf in the living room.
So, before we get into too much crazy Ghostbuster stuff, and we're really not going to get into too much of that tonight, but Nick, our esteemed colleague and producer, has been doing some legwork for us. He went and tracked down this beautiful bottle of Ghostbusters Ecto Thirst Quencher Tropical Flavored Soda. I like the art on it. It's got that green slime logo they released a couple years ago.
Yeah, I noticed.
Now, this is caffeine-free, 160 calories per bottle. I like the slimed version of the Ghostbusters on here. We can post some pictures on social media just so you can kind of get a better idea of the bottle art. It's pretty basic.
The slimed logo, too.
The slime logo. I love that shirt, but I love how they almost look like the Universal monsters. They're Egon has total Frankenstein vibes for
sure.
me.
That kind of looks like the spectral Ghostbusters in the cartoon, but slimed version.
Yep. And then Box Lunch Gifts has this badass water bottle out there. Now, normally
That's at the Box Lunch stores, if you can find them.
Yeah, it's not on their online store, so you got to go to their store.
Find it at your local mall. FYE has the soda, if you didn't know.
Normally, I wouldn't be into a bottle like this, right? Just because it's kind of cheesy looking, but they've got some deep cuts on here. Like, I think this is the first time on an officially piece.
You don't see that stuff a lot.
Raise a Cult in the Cedric Hotel listed on, like, official, actual merchandise.
Yeah.
It's pretty unique. They even have the address of, is that supposed to be? Yeah, that's actually got the address for Raise a Cult. So seeing that is just like the bookmark I made for the Midland Empire Ghostbusters. So if you're at one of our upcoming events, look for that.
The Midland Empire Ghostbusters.
You've been doing so well lately.
And Nick's been at it, man. But Nick's a man of the retail shopping world, and he does good work for good people. And by work for good people, I mean he's self-employed, so he gets to do what he wants.
I drive around the Kansas City Metro all day for work in my Ectomobile, so I get to go to stores whenever I want. And
which actually works out very well for us because we all kind of shop in our collector group here as peers and friends, and we're always helping each other out when we can. And Nick really fucking knocked it out of the park here by going to our Walmart neighborhood markets and finding the Campfire Mallows Stay Puffed Marshmallows.
We've got a box for the regular-sized ones right here.
Yeah, I didn't bring the box for the minis.
Pretty slick.
How many
if
of those
I do
did you
say
get?
So myself.
How many what? Boxes?
Did you get more than one of those boxes?
I got 2 of the blue and 1 of the red.
Oof. Can I get one of those from you? No.
He called that one first, but I'm going to keep the other 2. But if I find more, they're yours.
Okay.
We got a Stay Puffed Marshmallows minis. And Nick, why don't you tell everybody why these are so fucking cool?
The packaging isn't stupid.
It fucking rules.
It doesn't have the Ghostbusters logo on it. It looks like a real movie prop. It only says Ghostbusters on it, really small on the copyright line. And even the Campfire logo is kind of relatively small into the bottom left. So,
that's perfect. They really knocked it out of the park there. They did for Answer the Call, they did a tie-in where I actually still have the bag. I just kept the bag of the, and I'll share that too and compare it.
Did we look at the clip of the Walmart scene and look at the packaging close?
Oh, yeah.
Is it exactly the same, just got the campfire removed or something? Or?
Probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet they had real marshmallows used for it.
Yeah, so it's like a real prop.
Yep, with Kansas City's hometown hero, Paul Rudd. Hey, speaking of Paul Rudd in Kansas City, if you're in the area, the Big Slick Celebrity Tournament that they usually do here in town, they're doing virtually this year. But they've got some shirts available. I picked one up myself just because it gives back to the local Children's Mercy Hospital. So if you see me wearing that one around, it's a great way to support the community here. It's $50 for a T-shirt, but all the profits go to charity, so it's really a good investment.
That guy that was in Run Ronnie Run, the guy that kept getting more and more injured, he's a part of all that too, and he's from a suburb of St. Louis, I think.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Rob Cockner or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he's been in some Jason Reitman films. You might recognize him from Thank You for Smoking. He's also part of the Big Slick group. We're really blessed with a great group of, and I say blessed because I'm not a religious person at all, so it sounds fucking stupid when I say that. Yeah. We're lucky to have such a great group of celebrities from the Kansas City area representing us on a national level. So
he was in the
badass
Anchorman movies too, with Paul Rudd.
Hey, for all the haters out there, I just want to say F you. Notice all my Answer the Call merch on Ghostbusters Eve. Got this nice Slime State of Mind hat that came out. I think this is part of the NOS collection of hats he made. And then the Slimer Answer the Call shirt. So
nice.
Haters want to hate.
I was interacting with some unpleasant fellows in some Ghostbuster groups today because, how can you not? I mean, I guess if you have more self-control than me, but I like to trigger some of these people and tell them that Answer the Call is better than the original Ghostbusters.
And people can't handle pure satire or the fact that,
I asked them to show me on the doll where Answer the Call touched them because they act that offended.
Yeah, and they try to call Alec like a liberal libtard or something stupid like that, and you're like, okay, get a real joke there.
Well, he is, but...
Yeah, the other thing...
He said something about the LGBT group too, and I wanted to be like, that's funny because that's also me, buddy.
But what he had a problem. He was another man that had a problem with the queef joke from Answer the Call. I'm like, but you're okay emasculating another man by calling him dickless.
You're okay with ghost blowjobs.
Yes, and all the dick jokes in that movie in
general. The fucking Keymaster, make him hard.
The Keymaster,
Cross
the
the streams.
Yeah.
Cross the stream.
Yeah, that
you said crossing the streams is bad.
So from now on, we're going to call them stream crossers when we run into people that don't like Answer the Call or people that just like want to hate on everything. Because guess what? If you hated Answer the Call, you're probably going to hate Afterlife because there's people in it that aren't the original Ghostbusters, which is basically their problem with life in general.
There's girls.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah.
We need the Answer the Call jumpsuits.
Yeah.
I need some more details so I can display those figures.
And the Bug-Eye Ghost and the Fearsome Flush are showing up at Walmart shelves, even in the Midwest. Our brothers in Springfield at the Ozark Ghostbusters have found them.
That's good. In addition to the movie collection, I also purchased this week the Jaws 3 movie collection, which is just Jaws 2, 3, and The Revenge on DVD.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's like at Walmart pretty cheap.
This one was, Walmart actually has them all separate right now. And they're all $6 each or $5.
I think they had that collection last summer.
But this one was $6 at Vintage Stock.
Can't go wrong.
I picked it up because I don't have those. I have them on VHS right over here. But, you know, I'm not saying they're great films, but they are not the worst, and they're pretty fucking entertaining, especially if you like those kind of movies. So don't talk shit on these movies or me for buying them. They're great.
That's the thing, though, man. We talk movies, pop culture, and... You know, if you love horror movies at all, you love bad movies because horror movies are pretty much like the sequel genre of trash. And you love it because it's campy, it's gory, it's silly, and hey, if you like trash movies that are silly, we're all for it.
Speaking of silly, I also picked up Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, which I believe was the 4th done movie that they did in the late 90s. I think this might be the last one that was animated overseas from the time. So I have now, what are they? Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, and Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase on DVD. So I've collected all of those movies that I want. So Scooby-Doo, I love it.
Obviously, just due to Afterlife ramping up, we've had some guests that we're trying to get on and get a few things scheduled. So we'll have some folks on to join us when we get to that. But our friends over at the Interdimensional Crossrope will be joining us for a conversation surrounding Answer the Call's anniversary. We're not going to do a review of that. If you love it, you hate it, but we're going to talk about the build-up, the hype around it, the things you liked about it, how it helped really rebuild the franchise.
We're going to pretty much review it, too. Okay. I mean, not like a full-blown review. Probably it'll be less typical than other ones because we'll be...
And we might have an actor from the movie.
Oh, yeah, it's possible.
We've got a few things there, so... And then we're also going to be doing the coin-operated conversations on some of these Ghostbusters video games. We'll kind of be releasing those sporadically up through the release of Afterlife. I've been playing Into the Dead 2, the Ghostbusters DLC, which is pretty fun.
I still got to unlock that.
Nick is over here. He's had this game for
on
forever.
Level 20-something.
20-something? You got to unlock level 60, son.
I know.
And the nice thing about the Switch is you can do screen grabs so easy from the controller and just... QR code it straight to your phone, so you'll have some good shots of that. If you don't have the game or you don't have an interest in playing it, we'll be able to share some of the highlights from that with you.
That'll be fun.
Absolutely.
This Ghostbusters Day, we decided to sort of do a tribute to one of our heroes and one of the heroes of all Ghostbusters fans out there, Ivan Reitman. So we're doing 2 Ivan Reitman films today.
Non-Ghostbusters.
And neither of them are Ghostbusters.
We're celebrating
That's
Ghostbusters
true.
Day.
That's accurate.
Yes. So so we'll just say them now. So we're going to cover Meatballs. Hopefully you probably read that in the episode description. Actually co-written by Harold Ramis, amongst others.
Elmer Bernstein does the score.
Elmer Bernstein's score. It's got that very 70s.
We're not talking about it yet, so hold your horses.
Music on it, yeah. And then the other movie we're going to talk about is Evolution, often referred to as an attempt at something in the Ghostbusters universe without doing the Ghostbusters stuff, because as everyone knows in the 90s and when this movie came out, Ghostbusters was in fucking legal limbo and development hell for basically 20 years.
All right.
So, what are we covering first?
Well, it's also the 20th anniversary of Evolution.
Yeah.
Today or this week?
Today, Junior.
Isn't it next month?
Oh.
I thought it's July.
I thought it was this month.
I'd ask the producer, but he doesn't know.
I'm not 100% on
I don't
that.
remember anyway.
But either
Evolution.
way,
Not the theory.
and the theory of...
Released on July 14th, 2001 in South Korea. So that's where the big premiere was.
Interesting.
For a budget of 80 million.
80 million.
Korean dollars. I don't know what they're called. Are we talking about evolution?
Yeah, we're talking evolution. Start the evolution.
I don't know why Meatballs would have had a overseas premiere.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
God.
Now, trigger warning to Christians about this movie's about evolution.
So if you don't believe in that...
And aliens.
Wait a minute. Does it say that in the Bible?
You probably shouldn't watch this movie, because I don't want you to get upset.
It's going to be very far-fetched for you.
Losing sleep over this. Because some
Jesus
of these...
is watching us right now.
Some of these...
You know how much I sacrifice?
Some of the creatures
For like
in this
a whole
movie
weekend.
Right.
I was dead.
resemble dinosaurs.
But then I came back and everything's fine.
He came back cool, though.
This is a snakeskin jacket.
He came back with
Word
a
is a
snake
sign
skin.
of
Exactly.
individuality.
So, evolution. I think a good place to start would be how this movie was sort of made purposely into a Ghostbusters type movie from another script.
Yes, this started off as a serious sci-fi script, and Ivan Reitman got it and decided, like, hey, I'm interested in that, but I want to do it as something funnier, something more lighthearted, and I think it...
Like it wasn't a horror movie, it was a
Yeah, it could have been much scarier, right? But they downplayed a lot of that. And that's the thing. I think that's probably why it's such a mixed bag, is the rewrites on some of this. The concept is there. It's just some of the execution stuff. And it's not a terrible movie. Like, it's way underrated, in my opinion, for what it is.
A better Ghostbusters type movie about aliens is called Men in Black.
Yes.
I was thinking the effects look very similar.
Well, if you look at this, man, the thing with this is it's very much Michael Crichton. There's dinosaur-looking animals in there, and there's creatures that look like they're the apes in the movie Congo in there. So
I was about to say, there's my other point. Ernie Hudson's in Congo. Ghostbusters just end up fighting gorillas all the time in other movies. Has Bill Murray ever been in a movie with a gorilla? Or an ape or something? Monkeys? Have any primates?
Well, he's in that movie with the elephant where he inherits the elephant from his dad.
I remember that, so...
there may have been something in the background. I don't know.
Was that Operation Dumbo Drop, or is that something else?
No, there's another...
See, that's what it always gets
Operation
confused with,
Dumbo Drop isn't that the Donald Glover?
Oh, yeah.
Or... Not Donald. Is it Danny Glover? That's
yeah,
the Danny,
right?
That's the
I
Danny
confuse
Glover
the fucking
movie,
names
yeah.
now, too. Like, I'm like, they're so goddamn similar.
What was that Razor's Edge movie? Where'd that take place?
I don't know. You look it up.
In the Himalayas. Are there gorillas in the Himalayas? I don't know.
And it's funny, as I fell asleep the other night watching Boogie Nights, and I saw Julianne Moore's boobs.
And how'd you feel about that?
I love her freckles.
Did it make you happy?
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing her boobs in there.
I mean,
it's a fucking movie about making porn, and she's like getting faux fucked by Mark Wahlberg, and her tits are out, and you're like, all right, cool, I guess.
Hey, if they're comfortable doing that, more power to them.
That's funny because I watched The Lost World last week, so I'm like, what am I on a fucking Julianne Moore goddamn fucking film fest here?
The Yeti is a Himalayan folklore, so maybe the Yeti is in Razor's Edge with Bill Murray.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
The Rhesus monkeys are there.
Ted Levine is in Silence of the Lambs as our very favorite human, Buffalo Bill. Would you fuck me? And he's the general in this.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Julianne Moore play?
She did. She played Clarice Starling in Hannibal.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. The Head and Shoulders commercial at the end of the movie. Jason Reitman's idea, apparently. He gifted that idea to his father about this, apparently. So
that's fun.
I think Ivan Reitman has a thing for selenium because that's what
exactly
the Shandor
selenium
building was
sulfide.
made out of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Head and Shoulders didn't have selenium sulfite in their hair products, but they rolled it out when this came out.
They added it to their product after this?
That's what I read.
Okay.
Isn't that fucking weird?
That's not the actual anti-dandruff ingredient in there?
Apparently it wasn't, but it is now. I don't know. But that's what it said.
Interesting. Well, that's
very
fun.
fucking weird. Nothing to do with the making of this film, just a sign of the times. Did you notice how many motherfuckers had frosted tips?
Oh, yeah.
Even David Duchovny was fucking rocking frosted tips in this movie.
Yeah.
And those two, Ethan Suplee and the other kid from Dude, Where's My Car? He's in some other stuff, but...
The background cast in this movie is what's so interesting for me. It's very 90s, right? I mean, you totally get those 90s, early 2000s vibes.
Sarah Silverman in there?
Yeah, she has that cameo. What's his name? Plays one of the general's assistants that's on Modern Family. He plays the dad.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the actor's name. My bad. But
Joe Medjick was also a producer on this, so
yes.
There's another Ghostbusters tie.
The thing with this movie is it's got the potential to be something amazing. It just some of the story just it feels kind of rushed in some moments, and some moments it feels kind of like it's slow.
Well, it's like, yeah, some of the comedy bits could have been stronger here and there. Clearly Sean William Scott's in there because he was like big at the time from like American Pie and shit. Dude, Where's My Car? All that coming out.
But I also think he was one of the better people to improv in this movie. I guess my problem in this movie is David Duchovny, and I love David Duchovny in the X-Files and a lot of other things.
Yeah, he does.
But he doesn't have any comedy chops in this.
The problem isn't that he doesn't necessarily have them, because he could deliver some good stuff if they wrote it for him, but his character should have been written differently.
COVID.
They didn't write to his strengths.
And they should have had, I don't know, Sean William Scott should have joined him sooner. So there could have been three of them, and there would have been at least him riffing, some more riffing, and he wouldn't have had to be as funny because you only had Orlando Jones.
Yeah, he'd be the straight guy.
He was a little creepy. I mean, there's lots of creepy shit in this. Anyway,
yeah, but I know what
problematic shit they wouldn't put in films these days about the high school student and the teacher being all just...
Well, and it's not even high school, it's college, right? So she's a college student trying to sleep with her professor and all that stuff, and he makes jokes about it, and even when David Duchovny walks in the room to take him out to lunch, like, he like looks behind the girl and is like, yeah, and you're just like, whoa, dude. I'm like, okay. I mean, some of that stuff just hasn't aged well, but...
That's not how you talk to the white man. You got to call him to the white man. That's all. That's kind of fucked up.
It's true, though.
And then he calls him Mr. Black. He says it's Mr. Block.
Block, yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, but when there's the trio of them there, I think that's some of the funnier stuff is like when they're kind of figuring that out.
Your name's the Blacks. That's like if my name was Larry Jew.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because Sean William Scott's character, right, he's kind of an idiot, but he's not as much of an idiot as you're used to, right? He's not quite that Stifler asshole, so like you don't hate his character, which it says a lot for him, right? Because
he's kind of a nice kind of guy in this one.
He's got a genuine good spirit, and you see that through in his role, but I just wish he had other interactions earlier on because he's funny in this.
He's
and he
really likable.
hilarious.
Like, this is closer to Dude, Where's My Car than American Pie. Because he's not a total dick in that. He's just kind of stupid as well.
Isn't he in that movie with Paul Rudd?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, too. Role Models?
Role Models.
He's kind of a dick in that again, but he's not anywhere near as much.
He was or not.
He's not Stifler level dick.
Yeah, and he's funny. I just wish he would have had more interaction with David Duchovny and what was that? Orlando, is that his first name?
Orlando Jones.
Yeah. Orlando Jones. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
He was what else was he in at the time? Because he was
one of my favorite comedies, Say It Isn't So, came out around that time, and he was a starring role in that.
I was about to say he was in a couple different things I've seen. I just can't place it right now.
What's that other guy
Should've
from
looked it up.
American Pie? He stars in Say It Isn't So with Heather Graham and. You guys seen that?
Heather Graham was in.
Where they fuck and,
Boogie Nights.
And then they find out they might be brother and sister. And have you all seen that? It's
I
like
have
a
not.
Farley Brothers movie, I think.
She was in Twin Peaks also.
Who?
Heather Graham, and you get to see her Twin Peaks and Boogie Nights. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been to the restaurant.
You suck.
So,
I pretty much read all my notes, so let's just talk about what exists in this movie. The actual aliens, some of the CGI I could have done without, but that's just because the practical effects do have a sort of feel that I just like. And the ones that they do in them, they look pretty good.
There's just something about real light interacting with an environment that's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Like, I love being able to... I love where they're now at a point where they're being very strategic and smart about enhancing some of these things with a little bit of CGI where it's needed, but not completely cutting it out. Like there's a fine line.
The first Jurassic Park did that masterfully, and that's why it works so well, is because so much of it is mixes of...
Yeah, like the giant T-Rex, imagine had that all just been CGI when it's like down and in the face of the Jeep. When you first see that dinosaur there that goes to the shopping mall and it like learns to breathe and you get that whole process. The concept of the evolution works for me because like everything can evolve super quick, and that's what it's doing. And then like they're learning how to breathe in our
super quack.
Quick. I stuttered a little bit, so thanks for calling it out, Dick. And then eventually you see those like purple or bluish purple apes or whatever later, and those are some fucking.
And they just remind me of like Congo, like you were saying earlier. I immediately have flashbacks.
The light color of Congo. I just seen that. I was like, where's Ernie Hudson?
Exactly.
And Dan Aykroyd he does a good job of being that technical Ghostbuster style Dan Aykroyd, because he like throws in all the jargon that he knows what that shit means that most people be like, what?
Oh, I love his appearance in this movie. It's fucking great. It's one of the best parts.
And then Sean William Scott saves him by shooting one of those things, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But he comes in there, and you forget that he's in it as well, too. Like, every time he shows up, you're like, oh, there's Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that one guy you're talking about from Modern Family, I just realized it's that guy, the general there, or whatever. He's in the Dawn of the Dead remake also.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I know him from, because I've never watched Modern Family much. I mean, I'm aware of it, but...
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's for...
I mean, I understand, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to leave it.
We'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I've watched Alf again.
I laugh at it when I see it, so it's one of those
Alf
shows.
is one of the cheesy sitcoms I like. Fresh Prince, I'll watch that all the time.
Well, the mom on Modern Family is also in Happy Gilmore, and she aged very well.
I like her. I think she's a good...
She's hilarious, too. She's got good comedic timing, too. Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Modern Family instead of Evolution.
We're talking about...
Our next episode by episode will be Modern Family.
If Ivan Reitman's listening to this, he just shut it off, and he's like, "Fuck these fucking idiots! They're making me look like an idiot."
No, the movie made whatever everyone looked like. Ooh. I don't know. You just feel the tension in this movie.
But Ivan Reitman did a great job directing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's tough because as a director, sometimes you're just picking movies that sound appealing, and like you go through script rewrites and everything else, and sometimes shit just doesn't pan out the way you think it's going to, right?
I still... The thing is here, I like this movie more than most people who probably watch it, but I also watched this movie when I was 10 when it came out. I didn't see it in the theater, I don't remember, but I remember always watching, like, around then is when my parents started getting, like, cable boxes and stuff, and having movie channels and shit, and I remember watching it on, like, the movie channels that have no commercials and shit back in the day.
So they unscrambled your Cinemax porn?
Well, no, we had those channels growing up anyway, but yeah, I mean, when you started getting cable boxes and being able to find shit easier with like the scrolling TV guide you used to have to read through.
Oh God.
Remember that? If you fucking like blinked or
looked
away, you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I gotta wait 10 minutes for this thing to scroll.
Basically, yeah, when it first became digital cable. And
That's the original doom scrolling. We do it on social media now, but it used to be on the TV guide channel.
There's nothing on, so I'll watch preview channel for a fucking hour.
That's what's funny about the Wayne's World DVDs. They're that version of that channel, and it's funny because you can actually click on the fucking.
And then there's some Easter eggs in those.
Yeah, you can
menus.
click on like the Brady Bunch, and it'll start playing the Brady Bunch for a short minute and shit. It's ridiculous.
So this movie, I enjoy it. It's not amazing, but there's enough fun stuff in it. I get a kick out of it. It's amazing. Shut up.
There's an animated series.
Short-lived, and I think they just did that as a tie-in, which...
They did a toy line, which is more closely related to the animated series, obviously. It was for the animated series. I believe Craig from Yes Have Some collected it all. I don't know if he still has it, but...
Was that... Who made that? Was that a Trendmasters line?
I'm not sure.
Trendmasters was real big, and...
They did Extreme Ghostbusters and Independence Day.
Did they fold after that? I don't think they did too many lines, so I don't know if they're even around then.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was 96 and 97, respectively, so...
trying to think. I don't really have any major notes on there besides the thing that I said. It's like, they emasculate the black man in this movie, Orlando.
Bandai did the...
Oh, yeah, the butt
by
stuff.
butt raping him. And my coworker Cliff and I have a lot of conversations about this stuff, and it's interesting how Hollywood's always like emasculating like black men and doing different things. But that's a conversation for another day. But I did note that when I watched this, and I was like, fuck. Like, they butt raped him, basically, to get that little bug wasp out of his ass.
We're going to get, like, fucking so shut down for the term that you just said on YouTube.
What?
Did you say?
But R-worded. That'll probably get us flagged.
Oh. Well, censor it if you need to.
I'm not going to censor it. I'll let YouTube flag us, and then I'll censor it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not for sure that it'll get censored, but I know shit like that triggers YouTube sometimes.
Well, I'm sorry. Then they better not ever show any Catholic videos ever.
I mean, I don't know.
I sound anti-Catholic. I'm just anti-childhood sex abuse.
I'm anti-Catholic. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
Anti-theist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That too.
So, not just the Catholics.
Any theism.
Google it. Hey, so you want to move on to the...
Top 5, 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 top 5.
This is top 5.
It's weird hearing you talking like yourself as we hear yourself talk.
Isn't it? Doesn't it sound pretty cool?
It's like in stereo.
This is top 5.
It was already kind of in
it's
stereo.
like a chorusing effect, you know? It's like already stereo. It's like now it's in surround sound. Except
We're
we're recording
available.
stereo. Yeah.
So, top 5 episodes.
Real Ghostbusters episodes.
Whoa!
In honor of Ghostbusters Day. That's the only thing we're throwing on here that's super
That's
centric.
all we're doing for Ghostbusters.
Well, you know,
We'll do a
this is
special.
our official, like, Ivan Reitman little tribute for Ghostbusters Day. So then, later on today, if you're viewing this on Ghostbusters Day, Tuesday, June 8th, later on today...
We'll be
there will
doing some
also be-
follow-up, so don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
there's going to be something posted for sure. There's going to be, there's going to be a music video. So
It'll be a reaction video to the new trailer.
there's going to be a couple different things. There's gonna be
That trailer's not coming out tomorrow next time. Don't be spreading. Don't be spreading. No trailer yet. Too early. Too
Exactly.
soon. They could do another snippet or something like that, or a behind the scenes featurette.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, I can't talk today.
So don't mind me. I'm a fucking idiot and an asshole, and everyone hates me, and God wants me to die, but He hasn't struck me down with lightning yet.
Justin's just trying to offend people today.
I feel better. Well, the world offended me today.
Alrighty then.
Do you want to do your number 5, Nick?
Yeah, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is an episode from season 4.
I didn't bother writing down.
Me neither. Oh, fuck.
Called Ghost Busted.
Mine are probably off from the first season.
The Ghostbusters have a little bit of a paranormal drought, so they start catching criminals. And for some reason, it really stood out to me as a child. This is how I'm basing my list, because it was kind of a unique episode.
No, you're good. It'll be different.
Yeah.
It was a unique episode. I was like, because they changed the proton packs to bioenergy so they can catch, and then the trap makes a cage, and it was goofy as fuck. But
I gotta find that and watch it then, because I don't recall.
You don't remember that one? They changed the symbol, so they put like a dude in like a prison garb, and then the circle, you know.
So
if you haven't seen that one, you gotta watch it.
The beautiful thing about this list is it's going to be very different for us. It's not going to just be your typical season 1 top 5 that everyone's going to be like, yeah, these are my favorites because like they're the ones that people rewatch over and over and over again.
I mean, mine kind of are. Mine are pretty fucking typical, but
all right,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got memories tied to mine, so that's kind of how I chose mine. So my number 5 was the Troll Bridge episode.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
The thing I remember about this episode was like when I watched
That's one of the early ones, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the earlier ones.
Clicking around over there.
Season 1, and they had this 3D book that they released at the grocery store, so you'd get stickers for it, and you could put stickers in there. But the 3D book would allow you to use the blue and red lenses to see that. And the book of that I got at the grocery store called Food for Less in Olathe, Kansas at the time as a kid. I remember all that very specifically. I don't know why,
Did you
but
get the magazine every month?
no, I just got this one there, and you put the stickers in it, and it was the Troll Bridge episode. So I was very familiar with that because I could replay that episode over by reading it.
Like, geez, Scoob.
He's cracking left and
I know.
right tonight. You haven't cracked for like a month, so I think that's catching up.
My number 5 is Revenge of Murray the Mantis.
Fuck yeah, we had that on VHS. I still have that VHS.
That one is nostalgic as hell because that VHS is pretty much all of the show that I watched as a kid.
Yeah, that's
because
what
I didn't get to watch the normal run. I had to watch the ABC Family reruns, and I didn't get to see the whole show then. So a lot of it I've watched as an adult, but all these were ones that I watched as a kid and always coveted.
the tuna casserole ones we watched that they'd play around shortly before Extreme Ghostbusters came out, or right around the same time. I remember doing a lot of VHS taping for all those.
Yeah.
I think Tony still may actually have some of my VHS of those when we made DVDs back in like
Hey, Tony.
2000.
Yeah, I showed Nick the DVDs of those earlier because they're
Yeah.
sitting on my rack.
Hell yeah. We made our own Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters DVDs with menus and shit. It's beautiful. All right, Nick, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Poultrygeist, where Egon gets bitten by
a were-chicken?
Were-chicken, and he slowly turns into a chicken throughout the episode. That I don't know. I remember seeing that episode a lot as a kid. I don't know if they deliberately replayed it a lot.
Some of those episodes got replayed over and over, and some didn't. I don't know if it was just distribution or what. So,
and that was in the Coulier days.
Very nice.
But for some reason, that one sticks out from my childhood.
Is that where your obsession with Chick-fil-A began?
Yeah.
My number 4 is Roller Coaster, where there's an Ecto-1 roller coaster. It sticks out for 2 reasons, because as a kid, I really wanted a fucking Ghostbusters theme park thing to go to.
That's when Egon and Janine went on a date, right? And then they did try to sue the amusement park for using their likenesses
intellectual
and shit.
property, right? Yeah.
I watched that not too long ago.
And that's a great episode, just because the roller coaster of it, and then it becomes possessed, so you see like an evil Ecto-1 in there. And it's something that's like, please give me this and a real fucking theme park. Like, this episode would translate so well to that. It'd be fucking perfect.
A Ghostbusters theme park, that'd be fucking nuts.
Well, just in any theme park for that matter. Like, I just need a small section. I'm not asking for a whole park. I'm not a greedy man.
There are theme parks that have Ghostbusters things, but none in America.
Yeah, we'd have to go to Dubai for that, which I wouldn't mind doing someday, but it's just a little out of the price range.
Well, I've got another for you that...
the brain buster.
Exactly. It's very basic. But Citizen Ghost.
Well, you're also the youngest, and, you had hand-me-downs, so...
But I remember that from my childhood very vividly, too. So.
And that's one of my favorites. I have the action figures they released from that.
Well, it's cool tying into the movie so much.
Exactly.
Yes, that's one of the few episodes like where they actually explain to you why the jumpsuits are different.
And it's him telling a story, too, so it's not like it takes place before the other episodes, because it actually is a flashback. And it's all Peter's flashback, so theoretically he could even be lying about things.
Yes.
'Cause it's fucking Peter.
Yeah, but the spectral suits, it was so cool to see those spectral Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's that's an honorable mention for mine.
Isn't that the story of how Slimer came to be at the firehouse with them?
As well, yeah.
Yeah, after he escapes the firehouse and after he went downtown.
Yeah, they did that whole... That's a classic episode, because they don't really tie in directly into a lot of the movie stuff, like I know... deep cuts here, but
they'll mention Gozer, and later on they'll mention Vigo.
But before they actually cared about giving us Ghostbusters 2 content on DVD, like they had a couple episodes that were on the Ghostbusters 2 DVD for the Green Slime box set that came out, and
Citizen Ghost.
That one, and there's one that had the Mood Slime in it that they specifically mentioned when they battled Vigo. So that had been one of the real late episodes. So
yeah, I think that's the only time they mentioned Vigo.
I think so. What's your number 3?
Take Two, which is the one where Ghostbusters is a movie in their universe based on their exploits.
And they show actual film clip in there, like Muppet Babies style at the end. Okay.
But I think they use a different voice for Venkman after the logo.
Oh yeah,
so I'm pretty sure they cut out the Burn in Hell one too.
Yeah, they did a few.
They show like his door, but I don't think they say.
They did a few little edits there to make it family friendly, but.
And they say Ramus, Aykroyd, and Murray sounds like a
law firm
or something.
Yeah, they make a joke about that people portraying them. Yeah, because it's like
they actually mention the actors' names in the episode, which is kind of cool.
Which is funny because it's like an in-universe movie about them, but yeah, it's one of those weird things cartoons can do and get away with, and you're like, all right, that's cool. So my number 3 is Mr. Sandman, Dream Me a Dream. Janine is a total fucking badass in this episode, and like early on, you're like, what's her character going to be? And you see this episode, and you're like, okay.
Is this the one where she puts on Peter's suit?
I believe so.
No, she's puts on.
She's in her dream
suit.
Yeah, so she's got her pink suit on in that dream, I think. The one that.
Oh, she wears a pink suit in that one?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she's a badass in that and kind of saves the day there after everyone else like gets defeated by the Sandman. And that's just a classic Mr. Sandman. And like, as a kid, that episode just reminded me of Back to the Future, the movie, because I watched that on like VHS all the fucking time. So like those two things just went hand in hand. So that just hits the list for multiple reasons there. The nostalgia ties are deep.
My number 3 is on probably a lot of other people's list. Anyone listening to this who watched Real Ghostbusters would probably have this on their list. The Boogeyman Cometh, which is the first Boogeyman.
That's my
episode.
number 2.
It's fucking excellent. It's iconic. He's easily one of the best villain designs that's ever been put to fucking paper. And it's fucking terrifying. It's just a great episode.
He's a legit scary villain on that. Like, you are.
I want a tattoo of the Boogeyman.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Real Ghostbusters shirts that I got from 80s Tees, and like I've got one that's just the Boogeyman, and like that's fucking amazing.
Yes, I had the little VMaster camera as a kid that had
the Boogeyman
clips
set
from
yeah.
this episode.
Yep, I had that as well.
What makes this stand out, especially.
I love that episode. I didn't put that on my list.
It's so fucking good.
But it's a good one, yes. Like I said, that's one of those basic ones that like I think everyone agrees is amazing. So, what's your number 2, Nick?
That was my number 2.
That was your number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, my number 2 is Revenge of Murray the Mantis. As a kid, I had this on VHS, the little 3-episode tape, and I watched that all the time. Not only was it amazing because it had like a Thanksgiving Day style parade stuff going on, also had Stay Puft coming back without. And like as a kid, you're not like, wasn't he destroyed completely? Like, how the hell did they get him in the container?
And it also has elements of like, oh, you can see. This is another thing that you feel like ties it to Answer the Call because of the balloons.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. And you can tell that Katie Dippold was more influenced by the Real Ghostbusters than the first Ghostbusters movie when she wrote that movie. But people don't want to ever talk about that. But
she says most of that's accident too, but it's clearly like background influential. But it's not like she did it intentionally. Yeah,
it's upbringing. Like that's what she thinks of when she thinks Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Is the
that's
cartoons.
why they have different weapons and shit in that movie and everything. We'll talk about that more later. But
yep, I love that. So that episode's so good, and then it also reminds me of I don't know. Anytime I see a parade, it also reminds me of Christmas Vacation. Like just in that time frame when I was watching these things on like home video and like watching that, I could watch this or that, and like the Thanksgiving thing was always like, oh, okay, that's a good holiday episode to watch too.
Yeah.
So,
number 2.
I will say on that video, that VHS, the other episodes were Drool the Dog-Faced Goblin and Ghostbusters of the Year.
Yeah.
Ghostbuster of the Year, yeah.
Yeah, which goes to Slimer. They give the award to Slimer, which Venkman gets pissed about.
That's such a good like combination of episodes too. I love all those episodes. So it was kind of hard for me to just pick. I wanted to pick one of those off that tape because I was like,
No, Stay Puft Man sticks out. Now, as somebody who loves dogs, Drool the Dog-Faced Goblin, pretty fucking cool.
I used to have a dog named Zool too, and I would call her Zool the Dog-Faced Goblin.
And it's got the course line.
Oh, it is mud. Oh, sorry, it is mud.
Well, that one's in Ghostbuster of the Year. Yeah.
Is that Ghostbuster of the Year?
Yeah, because
I thought that was in a diner.
Oh no, you're right. It is in that one.
I thought it was on a diner out there. Hominy grits, because there's Ray finds the hominy grits. Hominy grits. Yeah, random things we remember. Burned in your mind.
My number 2 is well, When Halloween Was Forever.
Very good reason.
It's fucking awesome, man.
That'd probably be my number 6.
Yeah, it's like I know my list is very stereotypical, but sorry, it has good fucking episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're recognized. So, I have 2 different Sam Hain figures, the Extreme Ghostbusters one and the
Real Ghostbusters, like action doll version that came out. I've got that too, but I've got mine open. That little firehouse that comes with it's kind of neat. It's
Once I have,
together?
But the thing I've done the most is I took the trap and the PKE meter and I've just put those in my Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters fans and stuff. They look great. The PKE meter is like scaled for the smaller figures. The trap looks good with them too. And the Slimer is actually scaled more for the size of Slimer in the Real Ghostbusters for the Kenner line than that Mattel stuff. So
fancy.
Yeah, that's a must buy.
All right, Nick, bring us home. What's your number 1?
Number 1 is Citizen Ghost, of course.
Pretty good. It's a good one.
Was that on your list?
It was on a 4.
Oh, it was 4 on yours. Okay.
There's some good ones.
But these
on
were
there.
hard to order because that one is one of the most rewatchable ones because it's so connected to the other ones. It's fun to watch.
Yes.
Like I said, it's cool to see the connection to the movie, and then the Spectral Ghost set from Diamond Select is a really cool action figure set too.
I have that also. I fucking love it.
That's the crazy thing. Like aside from Kenner releasing like just the regular Ghostbusters in the costumes and Ecto 1 and Ecto 2, like everything else, nothing else is really in the show besides Slimer and the Stay Puft, right? Everything else is just kind of their own creation, which is great because it allowed you to make your own stories.
I think a couple of the ghosts had little cameos in an episode. I forget which of them.
Granny.
It came with a spectral terror dog, too, which is interesting because it's a real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and it had angry Stay Puft.
Yeah. What's your number one?
Flip Side. Fucking love that episode with the People Busters. Fucking getting sucked into a tornado. That episode is so fucking good. I loved it. I could never watch that enough.
I figured this would be on yours.
That might have been on my list.
I fucking love it. And I had another issue. Well, the thing I loved is, don't a bunch of people come out of the void at the end of that episode too that were like trapped in that universe?
Isn't People Busters kind of like that Hellbent script, where they go to like the hell version of
the
Manhattan?
Ghostbusters 3 script from the 90s?
Yeah, and that
no,
like
because
that,
they said they go to Manhattan or whatever.
But isn't that like the flip side, kind of? I mean,
well, no, that's just saying they're going to the other side. They never said there's actual Ghostbusters over there that would catch people if you're in hell. They just basically say they're in a hell version of Manhattan. So it's a little different. It's open for interpretation.
I haven't seen that episode in a while, but that's like,
I don't know. I bet we could talk to Uncle Dan about it someday.
Hopefully. Your number one.
My number one is Knock Knock.
Who's there?
It has crazy fucking visuals. It was very early on. You could tell.
Which one is that?
It's honestly just too hard to describe for
what's
me.
What's the villain or what's the?
It's like a house, but it's not.
With the old lady?
I've only watched it a couple times. Yeah, it's been a long.
With the old lady answers the door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
because when
it has like those crazy psychedelic looking visuals.
Too, yeah.
As a kid, I always thought the Granny Gross action figure was that, and like that was the painting of the old lady that hung in the Ghostbusters firehouse on the wall. It looked like her too.
That painting looks like the figure. Yeah.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. Hopefully, you all remember that as well as I do.
I do.
I know.
Same thing.
I like how aggressive and angry Egon is in this episode.
Oh, and
he
then
fucking yells a lot. It's like you could tell it's early on in production because of that.
The old lady goes back to the firehouse, right? And Janine's alone there with her, and she tries to like.
Yeah, she has that angry looking like bird.
She tries to open up the containment unit, I think.
Yeah.
There's some cool ecto shots in there too.
It's awesome.
Oh, good list, fellows.
So jump on the comments section here on YouTube. Get on our Facebook. We actually launched our Facebook group officially now.
Yeah.
You want to describe that a little bit to us, Alec, since you took charge?
Hello. My name is Alec. Head over to the Facebook. I make a
face of people.
I'm a group sex Facebook. I mean, yes. No, I made a Facebook group for us. It's called Frog Bros Video. Go find that shit. Go into your search bar on your phone on Facebook.
Share
and
whatever you want in it.
Go to Frog Bros Video. Well, don't share whatever you want, but definitely share your nudes.
Follow Facebook rules.
No, don't do that.
Don't share shitty memes or stuff that's like all over.
Yeah, don't
everywhere.
just like shit post a bunch of memes,
share
but
common memes. Yeah,
like some really funny or relevant memes are good. Anything toys that you're buying, posts, collections.
Yeah, what are you collecting? What are you listening to? What are you watching?
Stuff about upcoming movies and shows.
What are you wearing?
Other movies, anything we've talked about before on the podcast, the kind of stuff we're into. Like,
yeah,
obviously don't go posting shit about baseball because we don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do, but these guys don't. So,
well, that's not what our podcast
I know,
is.
exactly.
We don't give a fuck about football either, so take that shit and shove it up your ding dong.
That'd be kind of hard to do. You got a football that'll fit?
A little toy football?
Like an action figure?
I'm going to sound with the action figure football.
Okay. Hey, speaking of which, like you can hear about cool shit, my friend Steven Jeffers posted in there recently saying that he got one of the Sony Walkmans that they released that was Stay Puft branded. I think they only made like 50 or 100 of those, and he said he finally snagged one on eBay, which is pretty badass. The shoes, they did a giveaway, a couple of those at FanFest, so seeing that was like pretty cool. So it's a pretty cool looking device. So people got some good stuff in their collection they're already posting in there. So
yeah.
And we realize people are in a lot of groups, but we're trying to do some stuff that's a little bit different than the other stuff. So we're also in group therapy if you're part of that. So, but jump in there and get on our level if you want. We're fucking crass and crude, and we don't mind being assholes. So come in there and be yourself.
We're rude and crude and a mean attitude. Isn't that how the
we like friendly banter, but if
Yes.
you're a dick, we'll kick you out. So don't be a huge fucking cock.
Because Nick might put you in his mouth.
I guess what we're gonna do is
Nick just looks at me like he's gonna stab me.
I mean, we started the last podcast with your dick in his mouth.
You know what I just watched?
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist.
Return of the Jedi.
Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You ever see that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release Reviews.
Meatballs.
It's Meatballs.
From 1979.
Maybe more comfortable with that analogy.
I get hungry for meatballs when I think of this movie.
That's weird.
Want some spaghetti?
I got a couple meatballs for you. Hey! Hold on, wait.
And he doesn't even have to drop them on the floor to get hair on him.
I think that was funny enough. It warrants.
Oh, he's got to find the sound clip now.
It's too late.
Yeah, hold on. Wait.
Technical difficulties, please.
Too late now. You're gonna have to edit. You're gonna have to edit this.
No, I refuse. I'm just
like
gonna.
But it's too late now.
No, it's not. Here, there's the Oh, wow.
Way too late.
I'm hilarious.
Better late than never.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I kill me.
fucking Alf.
So the 1979 comedy classic Meatballs.
Meatballs.
Directed.
Star Bill Murray.
Star Bill Murray. Directed by Ivan Reitman. Written by Harold Ramis, amongst others.
Scored by Elmer Bernstein.
Does this sound familiar?
It's Ghostbusters.
No.
Wrong again.
Nice try. No, this movie's great. It's funny. It's campy. It's one of those.
It's at a camp.
It's campity campy camps. So, I had not watched this movie a lot as a kid, and it's one of those that I watch now. It's almost like a... Oh, I don't know. It's just one of those that just feels like an instant classic, even though I hadn't watched it, much until an adult. It's just one of those you just feel like you've seen it a million times.
Yeah, I
Bill
didn't watch
Murray's
this as
just so relatable.
till an adult. I wasn't an adult either. I have the special edition right here. And I have it on DVD.
What's special about it?
It has a
Special
documentary,
features.
Summer Camp, The Making of Meatballs, and audio commentary by Ivan Reitman and writer-producer Daniel Goldberg.
Ooh, I like
so
that.
I'll actually probably listen to that
I'd like
sometime.
to listen to that. I'll listen to it with you.
Yeah.
Commentaries are pretty interesting to me. I watch and listen to plenty of them. I do.
Okay, Billy Idol, calm your tits. You sounded just like Billy Idol on the fucking Wedding Singer. When he's like giving that speech and shit, talking all calm on the airplane. And I'll do pretty much whatever I want. That's what
I'm Billy Idol.
That's exactly what I felt in that moment when you said that. So thank you.
God.
I appreciate that.
Go, Web, go!
Exactly. Go Web, go. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Oh wait, Meatball Man.
When he wakes up in the beginning, it gives me Hunter S. Thompson vibes from like Where the Buffalo Roam.
Yes.
Which is around this time and around Caddyshack time. What year did Where the Buffalo Roam come out? 80?
That sounds right.
Ooh, sorry. It's been a long day. Pretty close to around there, yeah.
So that's all pretty interesting. It does have typical camp stuff, but I think it's because this was also inventing some of those tropes.
It does, and that's what you realize. Like so many '80s movies, like took this as the blueprint for like the silly,
like
camp
the rival
movie.
camps.
Where the Buffalo Roam was 1980s.
Yeah.
Like you can literally see the formula from this.
Everyone.
This
tried
was
to copy
basically
this formula.
remade, and you know what it was called? Heavyweights.
Yeah.
No. Yes. Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but look at the other camp movies.
Like even the camp counselor, who is not as anywhere near as cool as Bill Murray, but he takes the kid under his wing and shit.
And that's what most other camp movies, they had to come up with zanier and zanier characters. Like, because Bill Murray is just steals the show in this. Obviously, that's what makes this movie work, is because he's so lovable in it.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't matter.
It gives me vibes of what modern day would be like. Obviously, Wet Hot American Summer is referencing movies like this, you know?
Yes.
Which is just cool because you get Bill Murray and Meatballs, Paul Rudd in that.
Another connection.
Another connection.
Oh
There's
my
no
God.
such thing as a coincidence.
No.
That's a soundbite on another podcast I listened to, but had to say it.
So Meatballs, and then like you see Bill Murray, like he's hilarious, but he's also like shows the true, gentle, genuine side of him in this movie that you don't see for a little while once he became famous, because he hates like that level of celebrity he achieved. And he doesn't
What is he, fucking Nirvana?
Yeah. No, like he really just didn't like that's why he's so hard to get a hold of for a while. Like
I mean, that's interesting to say, but then he's literally one of the biggest celebrities of all time.
Yes.
Like he's up there.
And he's notoriously difficult to get a hold of or reach or anything else. And so he tries to have that balance of life. And, after Ghostbusters, when he went and lived in France for a while, it was like, okay.
France.
They come from France.
Another connection.
That's connected to evolution.
I need to have that as a sound clip.
Is it the
X-Files?
Oh, I was thinking you're doing the...
I love how they're...
the $10 Million Man or whatever it's called.
I love how they're messing with Morty the whole time. They call him like Mickey or something, and he's like, "My name's Morty."
Yeah, that shit's always great.
And they keep fucking with him, like tying him up and doing silly shit, and it's classic.
Yeah, I like the Bill Murray's like setup in the his like room and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
So much of this, like the TV show Salute Your Short, just feels like it's trying to be the ongoing series of this movie.
And they made a bunch of these sequels. I've never seen any of them.
Yeah, they did Meatballs too, and it's like completely different camp, so they're just basically cashing out on the name of it, which was common in the 80s, so, I mean, sequelitis.
Meatballs
basically.
3 happened too.
Shit, I didn't even see that when I was Google searching, so.
Yeah, that's a thing. There's at least 3. There might even be 4.
The Meatballs.
I think there's a 4th one that came out in like the 2000s or something, maybe.
Or
maybe that was the 3rd one, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, obviously, this paved the way for like Ernest Goes to Camp and everything else, and some of those things where like there's some sort of camp opposition, and they've all got to unite, and there's shenanigans and hilarity ensues, and then there's the rich camp. The Bill Murray speech about the rich camp.
Oh, in the beginning is amazing.
The sexual awareness or whatever they call that whole piece is amazing, because he just basically gets on TV and like, for $1,000 a week, do you think it's worth it?
He tells them all sorts of shit about how like they get to hunt a fucking bear and shit or whatever.
Hunt a human, don't they? Oh yeah, or hunt and kill a bear, and then they
get hookers from all over the world.
Yeah, and then if you can spend, you got to see as many countries as you can visit, and you get a thermos of coffee and $2,000 and see how many countries you can visit from all the imported sex workers. That's amazing.
Corey Feldman stars in Meatballs 4.
What year did that come out?
Fuck, we might have to skip ahead and just review number 4.
1992.
Jesus.
And it's the final film.
For a good reason, probably.
The Meatballs series.
How old is he then, too? Is he like a camp counselor? Because 92.
He's probably like the head kid. He was 21.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he'd have to be the counselor at that point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, it depends on how he looks then, so. I mean, that would have been, what, after around Ninja Turtles when he did the voice in the first movie?
He's got that 90s hair, too.
Oh, hell yeah. Justin's hair.
Oh, yeah, my hair's beautiful. Don't you be worried.
Bill Murray in Bell Bottoms is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of his outfits are pretty hilarious and awesome.
He's wearing some
very Hunter S. Thompson shit.
Yeah, like the very Hawaiian print shirts, and then some of the short shorts he's wearing is hilarious. One of the hilarious gags in this, like, it doesn't age well, but it's still funny, is like when he's trying to get on that girl in the counselor's cabin, and then like she flips onto him, and then he like blames it on her. You're like, holy shit! Like you wouldn't do that now, but then at the time, and he's like fake crying and stuff. You're like, whew, that's a different time.
Everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.
What else is there in there?
Richard Mulligan and John Larroquette are in the second one.
And they call the one kid like he pulled 6 nurses and 4 of them couldn't go to work the next day.
Oh, that was hilarious, yeah. But it definitely has like the relay thing at the end, or the marathon run at the event that all these fucking camp movies like heavyweights have.
Yeah. The thing I liked about this, though, compared to other ones, was like Bill Murray's like working on his relationship with this kid and like running with him constantly. So like when it naturally comes up, it's not just a trope. Like the trope was created after this.
Yes.
And then the Camp Mohawk stuff, like with the baseball, and like you see him sabotaging everything, like the shenanigans.
I was about to say, because that exactly does line up with the go-kart thing, because he's so obsessed with the go-karts in that movie and everything.
And it does line up as well, like with some of even like the Major Payne stuff, like just the kids on campus and the shenanigans and stuff.
Yep.
So
this was the highest grossing Canadian film of all time. At least at a certain point.
Oh my God.
So are you sure Strange Brew didn't make more than that? Pretty sure those guys are pretty popular up there in the Great White North.
I think up to that point it was the highest grossing.
I see. Well, we thank you. We thank you, Ivan Reitman. This movie's great. Holds up.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
I would say how many jokes in this like really don't hold up with modern standards to you? What do you think?
7.
I mean, I already mentioned the one.
Really, just that wrestling scene is the main one. I was actually thinking that they portrayed some of the women better than some movies do because the women are actually talking about like, oh, look, this girl got her period and shit. And they're showing women to be women.
Yeah.
And girls and shit.
They weren't
Children,
they weren't stereotypical in this, right? And if you like camp movies, you have to watch this to understand what they're taking from because this basically laid the foundation for everything after it.
Meatballs is number 6 currently. Highest grossing Canadian film.
Nice.
Beating out The Fly.
I really know. That's pretty interesting there. It's pretty cool.
Very nice.
But Resident Evil Afterlife beats out.
It's called Afterlife?
Resident Evil Afterlife, I think was...
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. That's the subtitle for it, Afterlife? That's amazing. Now we have to do a double feature.
Oh, my God.
Porky's is number 2.
I hope it's not as bad as that Afterlife.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding is the number 1 Canadian film of all time.
Well, shot and produced up there. There's some beautiful country
that
up
wasn't
there.
made in Greece?
No.
Go ahead, enjoy it.
You know people move around the entire globe. Did you know that, Nick? And they shoot movies in different places all the time.
They need to shoot things where it takes place.
Speaking of shooting things.
Well, that was the case. Afterlife would have shot in
I
Oklahoma.
know. And we could have went to the sites.
No, but now we get a reason to go to Canada, dumbass. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as a positive. You get to go see Canada. They've given us so many funny people. We should thank them. We should go up there and sacrifice you so they can keep giving us funny people.
We love Canada, Ivan Reitman.
Who doesn't?
Send us your address. We'll come see you.
Don't send Nick your right. No. Don't send Nick anything.
Send us.
You can send Nick pictures of your whatever you want to send.
Mr. Reitman,
Frog Bros.
Send me your address. I promise I won't do anything crazy with it.
What's the email? frogbrospodcast.gmail.
At Pornhub.com.
He is not a smart man, Jenny, but he does know what pop culture is.
Frogbrospodcast at
Pornhub.com.
Pornhub.org.
No, .com. We're registered with Pornhub. That's where we post all of our videos.
Has anyone registered Pornhub.org?
I don't know. Probably Pornhub.com.
I mean, are you kidding me?
You know, most companies have the .orgs and all that stuff just for branding maintenance. Yeah, it's pretty common.
A lot of people buy up the domains of slightly misspelled porn names or other
That way
things
when
too. So actually, when you make a mistake, you go to some bullshit site.
And then that's when you get a browser virus.
We need to do that.
God damn it. Browser viruses. We should make our own spoof website.
Oh, God.
Frogbrospodcast.com.
Frog Bros Pod People.
Podcrust.com.
Well, this is going nowhere.
Anything else?
You're
on
welcome,
Meatballs?
Ivan Reitman, for this stellar salute to Ivan Reitman.
Hey, there's a lot of good fucking Ivan Reitman movies, so.
I suppose we'll move on to the old...
We now return to the real Ghostbusters.
Diane, 11:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
Pretty good. Bill Murray's the funniest man on the planet.
Episode by episode.
I remember the line that I was saying that we should put at the end of the episode. Diane, I'm upside down.
It's amazing. Well, Twin Peaks, Season 2.
Episode 6 or 5? Or
Episode 5.
Titled The Orchid's
Curse.
And this is...
The episode TV show Twin Peaks.
Hey, I'm going to derail this real quick and come right back. It just occurred to me that the upside down in Stranger Things is a direct ripoff of the Flip Side episode of Ghostbusters. Real Ghostbusters. Because everything's fucking weird and opposite and dark and scary.
It's a reference to Dungeons and Dragons.
Stranger Things is connected to Ghostbusters.
I know. I was just saying that.
Because they do.
I just had that thought. Okay, so episode by episode.
It derailed us and it wasn't even fun, God damn it.
And Wolf Finhard is
God doesn't exist, so we
now.
can't damn anything.
So this episode is pretty cool, huh? Cooper goes upside down after he wakes up. Bobcat Goldthwait.
Is that
Bobcat? Are you okay?
That was Bobcat Goldthwait and Bill Cosby.
Did you hear Bobcat Goldthwait doing a Bill Cosby impression? Is what it was.
That's basically it. Yeah, and that sounds. That is the commercial that we needed in the '80s that never happened.
Just cover your drinks. No, you should leave your drinks uncovered. That's what this podcast has become. I'm going to talk about Twin Peaks as Bobcat Goldthwait doing a Bill Cosby impression.
Oh, you're also high as fuck. So,
his hair looks like there's something about Mary.
Who? Cooper?
Cooper's when he wakes up because it looks like skeeted.
He slept in that day, too. It was like 6:42 or something.
God damn. What a fucking bum.
Someone was murdered.
Coming from you motherfuckers, that's amazing.
No, I thought he was like a 4 a.m. riser.
Right, he sees the note under the bed.
6 a.m. at least.
That Audrey left. It says, I've gone north.
But then he found
Jack
it.
may have the answer.
What if he never found it?
Who fucking knows?
Who hides a note under a bed?
I think it fell and slipped under there or something. I don't
sure
know.
It did. Yeah, our housekeeping knocked it off or whatever.
Housekeeping, you want me to check you off?
No, thank you.
Housekeeping, you want me to check you off?
Every time I hear Bobcat's voice, I just think Hot to Trot because that movie is pure gold. Anyway, so yeah, he finds that letter and then he has the epiphany that, oh, I got to go find.
That's not me. Is that the dog?
No.
Goober.
The official mascot of the Frog Brothers podcast is present and accounted for.
He's laying right there.
It's like, what the fuck do you want,
He
dude?
is. He's like, why are you aggressively calling my name?
Kitties.
Why is I dripping with goo?
They're setting up the chair and shit with the insurance company. And that shit's fucking hilarious. At one point, Bobby's just like, all right, let's go outside and have sex. That guy can fuck off. And he's stuck in the chair, like, swinging himself around. Like fucking Bill's package.
Isn't that, is Nadine, the one guy's wife? Is that her?
The crazy woman, yeah.
Yeah, and she starts, like, really going deep into her regression to high school.
Yeah, she goes fucking nuts.
And, like, we're just scratching the surface in this episode. We're like, are mom and dad out? Because they talk about going and getting drinks in there.
Right.
She's so weird because, I mean, she's a great actor because the role she does, like, you go from, like, being kind of manicky to being, like, fucking footloose and fancy free.
That's Justin's foot.
Oh, is that me jingling? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we kept hearing, like, a high-pitched... It's a funny squeaking sound.
You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
They want you to sing grace.
Imagine his character dubbed by Bobcat. That's a beautiful thought. It makes me happy.
God. The blessing! The blessing! Oh, man. We love Bobcat Goldthwait. He's a great director, too. We should cover one of his movies sometime.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen World's Greatest Dad?
I don't think so.
The Robin Williams movie, where his son commits suicide accidentally by jerking off and choking himself.
Oh, autoerotic asphyxiation. David Carradine died like that. Yeah, I was gonna say,
there's a movie with his son does that, and he writes basically a suicide note for him and makes it look like he killed himself. And everybody's all of a sudden thinks he's a great writer and an artist because Robin Williams is a teacher, but he's also a failed writer.
So he starts ghostwriting this stuff for his son and like keeps releasing diary entries, right, or whatever.
Yeah. But it's a real good fucking movie, and it's pretty funny too. And Bobcat Goldthwait directed it.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
I mean, I'd have to find a copy, but
I'll check the streaming sites.
I'll check the streaming
What is it
sites.
called?
Oh,
My Father the Hero. Is that what
I'm looking at a new movie. It's called World's Greatest Dad.
And it's funny, he doesn't actually talk like that. It's just how he portrayed himself in the 80s, which is beautiful.
But yeah, it's amazing. I think normally he sounds like this a little bit, maybe a little less probably nervous, but
yeah.
And then he always goes
when he gets manic, yeah. So anyway, so back to Twin Peaks.
Hey, it's free on Amazon Prime. And Tubi, and Pluto, and Vudu, and Crackle.
Fuck yeah.
And...
All right, jot it down next week.
Next week. We should save our...
You know, I'm just going to go
meeting
there.
for afterward.
That's really dark. That's how Robin Williams left this world, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he killed himself in a different manner, but yeah.
I just meant by suicide, asswipe. And you're like, well, that's not how he killed him. He wasn't beaten off.
Okay. Wanted to clarify.
In case
Thank
you guys
you,
didn't
Nick.
know,
That
Robin
he didn't
Williams
David
went out
Carradine.
jerking it.
Yeah, no.
He didn't pull a David Carradine.
Thanks, Nick.
Too
I appreciate
soon,
your
Nick.
sensitivity. Jesus Christ. There's just some things you don't talk about in public. All right. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, you do see how this might make us look bad.
Next week,
right?
we're doing our salute to Robin Williams.
Oh, God.
All right. I've had enough of his shit.
It's like fucking Dr. Evil. Like, insolent little shit.
All right.
And people die.
Exactly. And people get muted and fuck up my VHS rec, and then they really do die.
Yeah, don't you scratch any of those cardboard boxes. All right. So back to this episode.
Are we at the part where what's his name is talking about his sperm?
Not yet.
Oh,
there's
that
a
is-
bail hearing for Leland Palmer. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
district attorney and shit had to like come in for this, and so you can kind of.
He's
It's interesting to see
traveling.
how the small towns do like court shit in this, like assuming it's based on reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he comes in and then didn't they show him arriving at the very end of the last episode because they're all
Yeah.
like gawking at his assistant?
Yeah.
Then the prosecution says something shitty about the judge's like college or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I happen to have attended that college.
That happened in Evolution.
Oh, it did. The fuck you doing, Nick?
Because there's a court scene there. I was like, wait a minute. Does it say that in the Bible?
Is that when the Scolari brothers showed up?
Oh, I thought they were trying to get him bailed and they'll like say something.
I knew that too. I knew.
We had 2 court scenes tonight.
Come to think of it, it was awful easy to get a cab. Leo's declared incompetent to stand trial.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely incompetent.
Yeah.
And ordered to go home.
The judge also tells Coop, keep your eyes open on the woods.
Mm-hmm. How long you been in town? 12 days. So if you've been watching along,
The 12th episode. Huh.
we're only 12 days in, but it seems like longer because we're...
Mr. Tajimura
comes in and wants to do the investment, swoop in on the deal, which is pretty cool. Who played that character? Because it looked like it was like not authentic.
It's not.
Okay. I was a little offended when I was watching that. I was like, this doesn't feel...
Just keep watching. Offers $5 million to Ben for Ghostwood Estate. He takes the check. So, that's interesting. Ghostwood Estates, the property is supposed to build where the fucking sawmill is. That burned down.
Oh my God.
Fascinating. Ben sends Cooper to get Audrey with the money. Sends Hank to follow him.
Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Jean Reno plans to kill Cooper.
Yep. Which is amazing.
Cooper basically knows this, though.
He's not a dumbass.
And Harry knows this because Cooper knows this.
Mm-hmm.
I am Jack's not wasted sperm count.
Yes.
Because then Andy talks about how his sperm is fixed.
Mm-hmm. And I love how that
I
lady
am the
explains it
whole
on the
town.
phone, and like he's writing it down like
yeah.
note by note. She's like, I gotta go. I got another call.
I'm a whole damn town. You hear? I'm a whole damn town. That means he skeets a lot.
That means he's got swimmers in
He's
his
got
semen.
a lot of big fucking gooey loads.
He still could have had big gooey loads. There just wasn't sperm in him.
But now we know that he has
we talked about
big,
this on the Twister trip.
Big gooey
Wrong
loads. Indigestion.
Heartburn,
Yeah.
diarrhea, indigestion.
Semen.
Diarrhea.
Sorry.
Semen is different than sperm.
Yes, we're aware of this.
We discussed this on the Twister trip. When
Yes.
We were talking about do birds have...
Which I wish I would have gotten all of that on film because that
was
would have
a
gone in
great
something.
fucking argument.
The bird semen debate. Yes,
They
the bird
don't.
semen debate of 2021.
Exactly.
They rub their things together, and the sperm goes directly.
What are their things called?
I don't remember now.
Colloquias or something?
Cockowls.
Cochlea?
Cuckows?
Cocos?
Cocos?
Something.
Coconut?
We're not a science podcast.
Welcome to the Science Brothers Penis Cast.
What the hell are you doing?
They go to raid One-Eyed Jack's.
Yes. This is a great fucking sequence, too. Because it's, like, very, like...
Yeah, they're, like...
vintage, like, style James Bond, like,
Yeah.
wandering around, like, looking through the place. I love Truman's disguise in that. He just, like, looks like business casual,
Yeah.
you know. It's nice seeing him not in, like, that ugly-ass fucking sheriff's uniform.
Kyle would have been great playing in some, like, spy movies.
Mm-hmm. He should have been.
You didn't silence your phone.
No, but we could have moved right on, but now we're going to talk about it.
Oh,
Jeff Goldblum.
You two,
Life finds a way.
Blackie's killed.
Yes.
Who?
She gets killed helping by the device that she's helping set up. That's the best part about that. It's like when you see him embrace, you're like, what's going on? And then he fucking kills her. And
She's
like,
the one
damn,
who runs the place.
That's cold. That's really
Oh, yeah,
cold.
okay. She did die.
I love how Cooper kidnaps or takes hostage one of the girls that works there.
Yeah.
Gets to Audrey.
Ooh.
And then he sees in the mirror that she's trying to stab him after she's trying to act all harmless and innocent. And he's like, bitch, please. I ain't got no time for that.
I'm a whole damn town.
That needs to be a quote.
My
on here.
sperms.
They swim, they don't sink. So what else goes on in that action sequence? Oh, the best thing is when they're carrying her out of there, Hawk shows up and fucking takes care of business and saves her ass. He's like, what? He's like, you don't think I don't know everything?
Yeah, Hawk is one of my favorites.
He tomahawked that motherfucker.
He did not tomahawk him, you jackass.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay.
He throws a knife in the back of the villain. I get
Welcome to the Canceled Brothers podcast.
I get that the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs, and that may make things feel okay in your heart, Nick.
Yeah,
but
we're in Chiefs country.
that doesn't excuse your lack of couth here in this situation. So I'm going to pretend like you don't exist for a minute.
I thought it was bigger than a knife.
Fight.
I watched it while I was driving, so.
You thought it was bigger than a knife. Have you never seen Crocodile Dundee? That's not a knife. That's a knife. You know knives come in more than one size? You know a machete's still technically a knife?
That's racist. saying
Everything you're
Australian.
doing is bad.
I'm just talking Paul
He's being-
Hogan here.
He's being racist.
Quoting
to
Paul
Australians.
Hogan. You can't try to backtrack and blame it on me.
He's being racist to Australians, Aussies.
All right, calm down before you start victim blaming people here.
You call them Aussies, do you?
No.
Oh, God.
One over there.
I'm just looking at sound clips because I can't partake with this.
I know. We're just trying to not get canceled here. And,
Yeah.
We're close.
Well, that struck
We're very
a nerve.
close on this one. I can feel it.
At least they didn't use the R word.
Yeah, that's why this is the Canceled Brothers podcast.
We can edit all this in post.
You can't do a fucking thing for editing. What the fuck
Editing.
are you talking about?
I can figure it out. I've done some
Editing
video editing
takes
before.
a long time on a video like this because then I have to bounce it separately. And that takes a whole lot of time.
It's different work.
And I'm not going to edit it.
No.
If we get canceled, we get canceled.
So be it. From this day forward, we shall be cancelled. Cancelled to you. Not on YouTube. Not on Instagram. Not on Spotify.
Yes! Fuck you guys! That's basically the episode.
Yeah, it ends on that note. Hawk coming in and saving the day.
Harold briefly catches Maddie and Donna.
I don't think we mentioned that. What's her name went on?
Oh, we forgot the whole plot line though. Where
yeah, Harold's
they're
reading
trying to-
the diary.
Yeah,
there, and
Harold's
she's
trying to.
steal
Yeah,
it.
she's trying to steal it.
Oh.
I did like That bookshelf he has is actually pretty badass. Like where the books actually lock in there from a side mechanism. I was like, fuck, that's pretty cool. I was like, huh, that's some good engineering right there. I like that.
Yeah, pretty fancy.
All I needed some vintage books to cut apart.
Oh, yes.
Lovely party. Pity I wasn't invited.
Oh.
So,
Losers always whine
about their breasts.
I'm not going to do it.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Really, that's it for this week's episode.
Yeah.
We're going to have some more... What the fuck are you laughing at?
What are you looking up? Admit your filth.
Nothing.
Nothing. That's something that would probably get him canceled, so that's why he's not going to say it.
Jesus Christ.
It was an Archie comic.
Oh my God.
Fucking, this is what happens. We're podcasting, and our producer, I say that in quotes, is over here fucking around looking at Archie bullshit on his phone.
You really think I was looking at Archie comics?
I don't know what you were looking up. Probably butthole fun.
I'm kind of scared to see.
I can't say it. You have to edit that part, too.
Jesus Christ. Were you looking at my OnlyFans?
How many voice clips do you got?
Our producer, Nick, jerked off in public once. True story.
Once. Once?
That we know
What
about.
constitutes public?
Well, this is going nowhere.
Yeah, we need to cue the end music.
Drive us home, baby.
Ghostbusters Day is tomorrow. Today,
it's actually
when
today
listening.
if you're hearing this. If you're listening to this on Tuesday anyway, but if you're not, then...
to it on Wednesday, it was yesterday.
Either way, on our YouTube today, you will also find a new music video and possibly a reaction to some of this Twitter Ghostbusters Day news. So keep your
hot new
eyes
jam.
open. YouTube.com/thefrogbros. Hit up our Instagram at Frogbros Podcast. Hit our Twitter at _bros. Wait, bros underscore frogs. I'm like fucking losing my shit here.
And join the Facebook group.
Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers. These are my dinner guests, the Frog Brothers. Frog Brothers.
Shut this off. Shut these all off.